Good morning, friends. I'm not too sure about this sunrise today, but that's part of the charm of coming out to the beach. It's always the beach. It's always the space where the ocean meets the land, where major transition from dry to wet, from this to that happens, where the major transition from day to night seems to take place right behind me. Always the same, but it's always different. And so we embrace that. The deepest truths are always paradoxical. But today, I've been thinking about community and how we need each other. You can probably still hear it a little bit in my voice, but I've been a little under the weather this week. Not COVID, thank goodness, but not well. And did a very hard thing for me, which was stay in bed for a couple of days, and and battled with my own sort of self-worth, and in a time when I felt like I couldn't engage the world well or produce anything, or and I know I'm always sitting here telling everybody over this medium that your value is not in your productivity and those kind of things, but the reason I say it so much is because I struggle to believe it. Also, it's bike week here in Ormond and Daytona, so you may hear a motorcycle approaching, so forgive me for that. Things I cannot change, right? But anyway, in my time of feeling unwell and not only physically, but that seeping into my emotional and spiritual well-being as well, I had to reach out to people. And probably a number of people who will see this know what I mean. I reached out and said, all I can populate right now are the worst case scenarios. And I'm wondering if you have the bandwidth to help me populate some positive ones. And they did, and my friends came through. And I think that's part of why we need each other. Margaret Mead has this great quote about, this is a paraphrase, but never underestimate the ability of a small group of people to change the world. In fact, it's the only thing that ever has. So part of what I want to do today is invite you to find your group of people. And if you're feeling lonely today, or if you ever have, you may be thinking, hey, Katie, that's a nice idea. I would love to have community. I would love to have people, and I can't find them. And that can be hard, and I'm sorry, because it's not always readily available. But I can pretty much guarantee you that just about every church would take you. Churches are struggling to engage people these days, and you don't have to believe everything they believe. You don't. What I am finding as I spend more time in more churches is that there's an array of beliefs, but where you want to be is with people who are loving. So find that. I've also heard wonderful things about the community that can form at CrossFit gyms, or book clubs, or online communities. Maybe it's a space you can put some energy and prayer if you can't automatically sort of populate what your community is, what your support people are. There's another quote I will bungle, but it's an idea from anthropology. In fact, my friend Kim Hodges shared it with me initially, that says that they date the beginning of civilization to not to like when people developed fire and things like that, but when they saw the first healed broken bone. Because what that meant was when someone was critically injured, that was the first time they weren't left behind, that they were instead nurtured back into well-being. And that's when they trace the beginning of civilization too. We need each other. And that can be hard when you feel like you don't have anybody. But I also believe that if we put the time and energy and effort into it, that we'll find each other. There's an opportunity today. Missing Piece is going to gather today at Central Park in Ormond Beach. The Hammock Lane section, there's a labyrinth. We will use that as a time of reflection and connection. We'll also be praying for the Ukraine today and the continued struggles there. But if that isn't accessible to you for any reason, try and find some place to be in community today, to connect with some other people. It's the season of Lent, and Missing Piece, as well as First Presbyterian Church Daytona Beach, are engaging in a 40 days of kindness. inviting you into a random act of kindness every day, but of course you're welcome to populate your own acts of kindness. And I hope that we can cause a ripple effect from a lot of people doing a little bit of kindness, that it might spread. And just, what's that old song? What the world needs now is love, sweet love, love and kindness. And it can be sort of a bold, brave thing. It is an act of resistance and rebellion to live into kindness and community instead of the individualism and cynicism and taking your own credit for everything you've ever done kind of mentality that comes from our culture and society. So breathe deep today, friends, and lean into community and kindness. And I pray that today you will find it, or maybe you'll find the trail that leads to it. And I hope as many of you as possible to see at Central Park today too. Grace and peace, friends. Know that you're loved.